Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the Muslim View. I'm your host, Sarah Darsha, and
Rafat Hussain.
We're here celebrating the 20th anniversary of the Islamic Center at the Four Points Sheraton. Rifat, what are your thoughts on it so far?
You know, I think it's been a tremendous evening. The turnout has been great. We've had members who have found the center to I think the third or fourth generation. I see little kids running around here, so I'm looking at them thinking, okay, yeah, in about 20 years they'll be able to pick up where we are. But just the turnout, the atmosphere, the ambiance, just everything has been so positive. And I think reflective of just what you see with regards to the presentations, to the interviews, to the attendees that are here. Like it's overall just very positive.
Tell me about a special moment that you've had with the Islamic Center, a special moment to you.
Mine has always been with the education. I've been involved with the school for over 15 years. And I have worked with one specific generation. And watching them grow from one to another, just, learning, the Khalifas, whereas they didn't know what the Khalifas were, it was more like the Prophet's four best friends, to then like major surahs and now from that onwards, they're now pillars in the community working with youth, coaching basketball, tutoring, mentoring, like watching them grow from a 5-year-old to a 21-year-old. It makes you feel old, but you look at them, it's like going, okay, you know what, I had a little bit of I had a part of that. And I think that's been the most rewarding for me. And I think the best part was every Sunday when I get to see the kids, it wasn't just a hi. It was like a huge hug and a kiss. And the kisses and hugs were so powerful that, you'd lose balance. So now I think that's what I remember. And that's what I'll always cherish.
Thank you, Rafat.
Thank you, my dear.
Join us for more interviewing the founders of the community, the board members, the president of this wonderful event. Welcome to the show today.
Thank you very much.
Talk to me a little bit about your role. I hear you're a board member, a chair.
We were the founding fathers, basically. 8 families we were. We started meeting in Masonville. Then we started our program in Fanshawe. And afterwards we bought the land, the center, that's what it is. Hisham was the first president, and he was also one of the founding father. And I was the second president for a year.
Abu Hisham, talk to me about your role. Take us kind of down memory lane. How was it for you?
It was actually very exciting at the time because we were always looking forward to seeing something special to teach the young generation Islam without having the obstruction of language. And this is really the essence why the Islamic Center was founded. We wanted something to be English speaking first. And for both the new Canadians that were born as well as the non-Arabic speaking Muslims. And this is why you'll see a lot of mixture of different people, different ethnicities available. So that was really very exciting. And as an engineer, also building something and seeing it completed was a great, fantastic feeling as well. So,
talk to us a little bit about celebrating the 20 years of the Islamic Center. How do you feel about it today?
Oh, very much. Once we got it, I was the first treasurer, basically. And I was very skeptical that we will be able to afford it, I must say. So anyway, we put the money in and we got the center. 8 families, and we got the center. And I was really very pleasantly surprised at how generous the community was. In the first year, we renovated, we insulated the building. We put a new wall, put a new kitchen, a school. We made modification, and in first year we must have spent about $250,000. It was really exciting time, and afterwards, I mean, Hisham did recently much more bigger changes, far more drastic, and it looks so much better now than it was earlier. You have to realize it was General Motors training center, so it was not designed for the mosque, but now it looks very much like a mosque. Yeah.
Hisham, tell us a little bit about how you feel about celebrating the 20 years today.
Well, it's very nostalgic. It brings a lot of memories back. You can we're saying 20 years, but in reality, it's 25 years since we started meeting to discuss and plan the formation of the center. The center itself, as a corporation, is 21 years old, but the group and the activities is 25. And the only part that I feel sad about is that there are many of the friends and colleagues are not with us today that helped build it and help us start it. But it's wonderful to see the new program, the young generations that are working, and the new ones that we expect that they will be coming along, like your little ones. So inshallah, it's a fantastic thing to look forward to as well. It's not just the past, but we're looking towards the future.
In London, at least, it was the first center where we have women on board. We had two on the first, Najat and Asma Mazraki. I think it was very interesting time that we had.
You shouldn't be doing this. Women shouldn't be on the board, etc., etc. So we had to face these things and deal with them. And alhamdulillah, the community now is a lot open-minded, and they realize that we're here in Canada and you have to deal with Islam in Canada, not the way it is in Lebanon or Egypt or other countries. So,
thank you very much for joining us.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
We'll be back with more of the 20th anniversary after this.
It is with such delight that I join you on such a special evening marking our 20th anniversary of the Center. For those of you who were at the beginning, I know that many of you would know the purpose of how we came to be here. But just as a quick review, the Center was developed to maintain a vibrant, inclusive, and charitable Islamic organization that would provide a comprehensive range of religious, educational, and social programs to serve Muslims in our community. An important component of this mission as a center and a mosque was to develop and strengthen its members' identity as Canadian Muslims through civil engagement and integration.
Also, I would like to congratulate the Islamic Center of Southwestern Ontario on its 20th anniversary, a true milestone. I am so pleased to be here celebrating with you this evening. It's been said that none of us alone is as strong as all of us together. And this city is fortunate to be the home of so many people from so many cultures around the world. Our citizens make our city rich and they make our city vibrant. Together, we continue to build a city that draws strengths from our shared experiences and as Londoners and from our multicultural heritage. It's so important to remind ourselves of the fact that our city can only move forward when we work together to achieve the goals, to achieve the dreams, and to achieve the aspirations we all share. The Islamic Center, through its London-focused initiatives and its cross-cultural outreach, has set a wonderful example of what it means to be a valued community partner. And I have attended many events at the Center in the past, and I so look forward to being able to continue to attend the events, to work with you, and to strengthen this relationship for many years to come. Thank you so much.
I'm proud to stand here today, actually, and address the Islamic Center, the community. I'm really delighted to be able to celebrate with you on your 20th anniversary. I'm also very proud that my ride in London Fanshawe is home to one of our city's most active and engaged religious and community centers. The Islamic community members and its leaders have established strong partnerships and that make London a stronger city. And when I looked at all the things that you do, it's very impressive and really overwhelming, the amount of programming that you offer at the Islamic Center. Every day of the week, including daily prayers, weekend school, seniors events, and family and children's activities, including the ever-popular March break, camps, and sleepovers. The work that staff and volunteers do at the center is indicative that you are listening to and are supporting your families, your friends, and neighbors. And with all that you do, you also find the time to have fundraisers like these events, special dinners, special programming for Muslim communities for Ramadan, community open houses to welcome fellow Londoners into the center, and spearhead important social justice efforts like the Reclaim Honor campaign. The time and energy that goes into all that you do truly reflects the Islamic Center and is an invaluable community hub so full of life in the city of London. I am truly honored to join you here tonight as your MPP as you celebrate 20 years of history, community service, engagement, and I know you have an ongoing expansion. Thank you so much to the organizers of this beautiful gala tonight, to all the administrators, and to everyone involved in the Islamic Center's activities, and to the people in the community that keep the center thriving by coming to events like these. Your presence in the community helps to bolster multiculturalism, foster inclusion, and encourage community support and interaction. I have no doubt the next 20 years of the Islamic Center's proud history will continue to be as significant to our city's success and development as the first 20 years we are here to celebrate this evening. Thank you so much, and enjoy your dinner and your evening, and remember to say hello and shake hands and enjoy everyone else's company. Thank you.
We'll be back after this short break.
Welcome back to the show. We are now at a segment where we're going to be introduced to the founding members of the Islamic Center. What we do know so far is that 9 families are involved, so hopefully we'll get a chance to know them better and the accomplishments as well as the struggles they've gone through to make this day happen.
We are going to honor the founding family. We would like to first recognize the 9 families who took a leap of faith to establish a new place of worship for a future generation. They believed in the philosophy, built it, and they would come. And come, they certainly did. What began in a small community meeting room at Macyville Mall has evolved to what we have today, serving a congregation of about 1,000. They strive to accommodate a growing and diverse community for all to be welcomed. We are forever grateful for their vision and dedication. We wish to acknowledge and thank these extraordinary families. Hani and Najat Hassan. Dr. Zafar and Angie Hussain. Hani and Fadia Shausher. Dr. Kadri Aliyekamu and Dr. Fatima Mustafa. Naeem and Brenda Karachi. Dr. Hani and Dr. Naima Shafi. Asam and Anisa Fidel. Hisham and Aisha Slim. Khani and Asma Mazraki. And if you know this extraordinary group of individuals, you would know that they are very humble and they're not comfortable with being in the limelight, but I still ask that you join in giving them a round of applause.
Thank you, Melody. I greet you with the Islamic salutation of peace and harmony. Assalamu alaikum. Muslims in London are a very diverse community. We hail from many countries with very different cultural traditions, different understandings of faith, different languages. Some were educated and others not. Many had come from areas of conflict. Some had arrived in London over 100 years ago, with no community support to greet them. Recent immigrants have come into a supportive community with mosques and Islamic and cultural organizations. Canadian society was much different. We had small group discussions, but also nuclear group discussions among seniors, women, youth, to try and determine what would be the best fit for us. We worked around building a comprehensive vision of a contemporary Muslim community in London. We thought that was more important than having a facility, that we understood who we were and where we were going to, and those who would join us later would understand what they were joining. We documented our conversations and set out to draft that vision statement. While the vision statement has evolved over the last 20 years, it remains true to that of those who inspired the first rendition of it. Deb Matthews read a bit from it, and I'd like to share with you a little bit more of that vision, because I think it's still relevant to how we identify ourselves within the broader community. And it articulates, I think, very clearly the comprehensive view that we have as we identify ourselves as Muslims and Canadians. And I'm quoting now, our vision is to maintain the Islamic Centre of Southwest Ontario as a grassroots facility that serves the Muslim community while promising strong and deep relationships with the London community at large. We strive to be, one, an upright place that promotes the values of peace, moderation, kindness, charity, forgiveness, patience, perseverance, and neighborliness. Two, a community center and mosque that develops and strengthens its members' identity as Canadian Muslims through civic engagement and integration. Diversity is God's plan, and we need to work together for peace and justice with all, both within the Muslim Ummah and with our neighbors. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
We'll be right back after this short message.
Assalamu alaikum, Hassan. Welcome to the Muslim U. We're very happy to have you here today.
Thank you very much for having me.
Hassan, talk to us a little bit about your role here today and your role at the Islamic Centre over the past 20 years.
Well, my role at the Islamic Centre over the past 20 years really started when I was a teenager. As a youth, I was much thinner, had more hair, but I was as part of the youth group that we had back 20 years ago, and I've been involved ever since through my parents and as a youth, and then getting into leadership, eventually on the board, and they saw fit to choose me as the president of the board these days.
Talk to us about how your father was one of the founding members.
Well, really, my father, with a group of other people, the founding families, they got together. They started at the Donut Cafe after Friday prayer, and they said, we need something new. And that developed into meetings at Masonville Mall, and then eventually they started doing lectures at Fanshawe College until they were able to felt steady enough to purchase a new building for the community. And so I feel a tremendous legacy that I want to continue, not only on my father's behalf, but also for Muslims in general. I've really learned the whole concept of giving back to your community from my father and all the hard work that he's done over the years.
Talk to us a little bit about the event itself. How did you feel it went? How long did it take to plan it?
So it's taken us a year, and really we wanted to do it right. We wanted to make sure that the people that needed to be recognized were recognized. And so the event was all about looking at the original to the first 20 years and bringing the people that really sacrificed with very little and were able to put together the Islamic Center and all the other institutions that we have as a result of what they've done. But not just that, but now we're saying, okay, well, what are we going to do with the next 20 years? And who's really going to step up and create new and exciting programs and institutions for the community? Because our community is growing and we need services and we need more than just buildings. And there's a lot of work to be done. And today's celebrating the past 20 years, but looking towards the next 50 years.
Hassan, talk to us about a special memory or moment that you've had at the Islamic Center that's very distinct to you.
Oh, wow. Again, it would have to go back to my father who passed away just before we had opened the Islamic Center. And so I was very proud to hold his 40-day anniversary. That was, I think, the very first event that we did at the Islamic Center. It was very rustic and very not polished at all. But for me, the center became my home and became something I was very devoted to. And it continues to this day. And I take my children there as often as I can to try to develop the sense in them of community and giving back to your community and leadership also.
I applaud you on this event. It's probably one of the best events and most organized events I've ever been to.
Oh, thank you so much. It's been a lot of hard work. I didn't have a whole lot to do with that. We had a wonderful team, wonderful organizers. They put a lot of hours into it. I thank them so much for all their work. And I'd like to thank the Muslim View for coming out and participating with us and sharing in our celebration.
Thanks so much, Hassan.
No, thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you to our Mayor Matt Brown, Irene Matheson MP, Ed Holder MP, Deb Matthews, and Teresa Armstrong for joining us today in this wonderful event. Thank you all for joining us, and thank you to the guests and volunteers for putting this effort together. I'm Sarah Darsha, and
Rafat Hussain.
We'll see you next time.
Thank you.